already Maycee Barber's 10th fight in the UFC. Despite only being 25 years old, she gets a huge opportunity here, meet in a co-meet spot against Amanda Ribas, who at 12-3 is a minus 175 favorite in this one. And most recently, she looks pretty great against Viviane Araújo. I thought Araújo might get that one done, but Ribas really made that look pretty easily, won the unanimous decision, and she was coming in off a somewhat controversial split decision loss to Caitlin Chukagian, and that still earned her fight of the night, so you know how close that match was, and Ribas looked good in that one too, and even most impressive, I think, is that win over Verna Jindihoba that she picked up before that. And Verna is on just a beautiful streak. She keeps getting better and better. So a win for Ribas that is aging nicely for sure. And can't forget, she also beat Mackenzie Dern back in the day as well. So a lot of great stuff from Ribas. I know many people thought that, similar to how she was able to win the MF Strawweight Championship, a lot of people thought she might win the UFC Flyweight belt as well. So this is a great matchup against Maycee Barber, who herself is somehow on a 4-fight win streak. I sort of liken her to be the Song Yadong of women's flyweight meet, because every single time Maycee Barber fights go the distance, it seems like Maycee Barber kind of lost, but at the end of the day, Maycee Barber is the victor according to the judges, and that was most pronounced most recently against Andrea Lee, where she picked up a split decision. I personally thought KGB Lee won that fight, and I can't stand KGB Lee, but if I'm being objective, I think she won that fight. And then that split decision win that Barber picked up over Miranda Maverick was an absolute travesty, because Maverick, I thought that fight wasn't even close, but nonetheless, Barber, Song Yadong style, emerged with that split decision. So what are your thoughts on this one? Do you think that Maycee Ian Gary Barber has some plus 145 dog value and is somehow going to emerge with the decision, or is this too much and Ribas makes light work? Who you taking?
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a very close fight. It's a very good matchup. Ribas should win this. Should decimate Maycee Barber, in my opinion, like from beginning to end. But I don't know. I think Maycee Barber is going to be the bigger, stronger fighter, and I think she'll be able to be strong enough to keep it on the feet. And somehow she's got this win momentum, even though she loses every fight, she still wins. So I think that little case is going to happen. But yeah, I like Maycee in this one.
Most of Tapology is pretty beige for the decision. 73% is rolling with Ribas. 27 meanwhile is going with Barber. There's a slight copper minority for the Ribas sub and a very slim Barber Brown KO minority for her. Any chance this thing ends inside of 15, or is this likely a probably close, probably competitive snooze fest of a co-meet?
I think it's gonna be the snoozer of snooze. But if it is a finish, I could see it being Amanda Ribas getting a submission. I don't know. Maybe Maycee could KO her. There's no way Ribas is KOing Maycee Barber. That's for sure. But I think it's most likely going to go decision, and I think Maycee will be the victor.
Yeah, I buy that. I think that if you're going to play this fight, I think that by decision for either fighter kind of makes sense, because I struggle to see a world where Ribas gets finished by Barber. I mean, maybe she gets mounted and is the recipient of some hellacious elbows and some ground and pound, but I don't know. I see it's going to be tough for me to see Barber putting out Ribas, and then Barber, she might not be the most technical and the most skilled fighter, but she is very tough, and she seemingly is like Marvin Vettori, old blockhead style, impossible to finish. I mean, if you remember that fight against Roxanne Modafferi, Modafferi was like a plus 800 dog. Modafferi beat the brakes off her for 15 minutes, but somehow Maycee Barber still finished that fight, didn't get finished by her, and she also, her only other loss was to the champ, Alexa Grasso, where she went 15 minutes there as well. So I think that it's going to be tough for Ribas to finish Barber. I like, this one's tough, I've been going back and forth, but I'm going to ride with you. I'm going to take Barber as the dog value just because I'm with you. I think she will be the stronger fighter. And when this fight is on the feet, what do you think this fight looks like? Do you think that Maycee Barber will be able to outclass Ribas, or is it going to be pretty back and forth? Like, how do you see these rounds playing out?
Yeah, I think she's. I think Barber is going to keep it on the feet, is going to dominate on the feet, and stuff any takedowns that Ribas tries. And I think Ribas is going to be a sitting duck and not sure what to do, because Maycee Barber's striking should be significantly better. It just, can Ribas get Maycee Barber to the ground? I don't think so. Maycee Barber's a thick girl. She's strong. She's bigger. And Ribas is typically a natural 115er. So when she's going up to the big girl's weight at 125, I think Maycee should have the upper edge.
Yeah, and the counter to that is Hebos has looked great at 25. I mean, that fight against Chukagian, where Chukagian is like the best point fighter striker in the division, I thought that Hebos kind of held her own in that one. Some people even thought that she won the fight, and then she definitely showcased some stand-up improvements against Viviani for sure as well. So maybe we are sleeping on the Hebos stand-up, and there's a world where she's able to just kind of pepper Barber throughout the contest. But I'm with you, Meat. Gonna take Barber. I like her by decision in this one, and I just hope this one surprises us and isn't necessarily a snooze fest and is closer to that Chukagian versus Hebos fight, which was kind of a banger. And I'm hoping that's what we get from this one. Both going Barber, though. Any last thoughts?
No, this is a great fight, fun fight. Throw in the comments who you taking, Barber or Ribas.